Hey, what is up, everyone? Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler here. Another week of what's sold on eBay. Want to thank you guys for stopping by to check out what's sold this week on eBay. And kind of been not a slow week. It's been a hectic week. It's been a slow week for me posting on YouTube, and I apologize for that. I want to thank you all for the subscriptions. We just passed 300 subscribers. That means a lot to me. That 300 of you would subscribe and check out my videos. I'm getting a lot more comments and stuff, and I really appreciate that. So I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. I've been reselling for almost 30 years. Started when I was very, very young, selling baseball cards at flea markets. Did video games in the 90s, did eBay in 1995, did Yahoo auctions before that, so I've been in this for a very long time. I specialize in collectibles and hard goods. I've been doing this for a while, and so that's me, and you are you. Let's get into what I sold this week. So we're kind of going to dive a little bit deeper into some of these items, and some of these items are quite obvious, so we're just going to kind of go over them very easily, gently. So first up here, we have this little Einstein sealed DVD. Now, I'm not a huge fan of DVDs, and because the ones that I've bought in the past, I literally sit on them forever. DVDs for me are not fast movers. I'm ungated, or no, I'm gated in Amazon FBA, so I cannot sell these on Amazon. If I was able to sell these on Amazon, I think my DVD business would be definitely on the up. So those of you that are ungated in DVD, congratulations. I know that a lot of the legacy accounts that were opened up before 2015 or 2014 or something like that they're automatically ungated in DVD. So you have a nice account there. For me, I started I've had my Amazon account for a long time. I just never got my selling account till last year, if you can believe that. My brother, who I should have took his advice, because he opened one up in I want to say like 2010 or something like that, or 2008, when the Amazon opened up to sellers. And I didn't. So anyways, like I said, if you have an FBA, the thing is, for me, DVDs would sell crazier on Amazon. But for me, they're slow movers. I try to get them for about 99 cents. I'll even pay up to $2 on some of them, especially ones like this. I only make a couple dollars on them. This little Einstein's I purchased for $2, and it's brand new. I always try to get brand new DVDs and just make sure that they have the original factory seal. Because if you see a DVD that doesn't have, I don't even think I have a photo of it. On the very top of the DVD, it should have a little white iridescent label that has, maybe sometimes it has a barcode and sometimes it has the title. Make sure it has that, because people could reseal these. Technically, I guess you could, and so there's a lot of problems with counterfeiting and stuff. But for the most part, DVDs that you're gonna find in the wild that are sealed are pretty much legit. This one sold for $7.99. This one took a while. I want to say this was maybe a 2-month hold on this one. And I think this was purchased with a lot of them for $2 each at a local thrift store. So that's little Einstein's. Kids DVDs for me seem to sell better than other DVDs, and that's just me personally. So next up, we have this Panasonic original universal remote control. Now, Bolo for sure. If you can find remotes that are name brand remotes, like Sony, Panasonic, I think even JVC sometimes, and even audio remotes, and you can find them at garage sales and thrift shops for $1 or less, buy them. Even if they're junk and you don't have time to look them up, $1 is a good investment, because you can still, for the most part, you can get $7.99, $9.99 for the majority of them. This one happens to be a little specialty, nothing too crazy. I purchased this at a garage sale for $1. So definitely Bolo remote controls. I cannot stress, because seriously, for the most part, a lot of people are willing just to give these away at garage sales. That's where I find a majority of these, because people the TV or the stereo equipment will get damaged. They'll throw it away, and then they'll have this random remote, and that's why they sometimes will put them even for a quarter. If they're in good condition, I would definitely buy them, especially if the price is right. Don't ever pass up on these. I'm telling you right now, this is the tip of this video. Remotes are cash money, especially Sony remotes. Look out for those. So yes, this one sold for $19.95. I was in it $1. I want to say this one probably took about a month to sell. So always look for remotes, and you want to clean them. Make sure that the battery. Oh, we should actually go over this. Let's go a little deep on this one. Tell you what's up about remotes. So always take a picture of the battery compartment, which is definitely a plus, because for the most part people leave batteries in these things, and you're going to find this like white crusty stuff right here in the connectors, and that's called corrosion. What happens is when the battery ages and it loses its juice, I want to say the alkali stuff wants to come out of it, and that's why there's the corrosion. There's nowhere to go, so the battery starts to weep, and over time that stuff crystallizes, and if you open one of these compartments, you see this white chalky stuff. Now the thing is, you can clean that stuff. What I do is, this is probably not like the professional way to do it, but I'm not a professional, but I just usually take like a Q-tip and some Windex, and then I'll go inside here and clean it up. And even I have a little vacuum cleaner, like a little tiny one, that I'll go inside this little compartment and vacuum up all the little bits and stuff till it's like clean. Put another battery in it, testing it. Now you might ask yourself, here's another tip. You're getting tips all throughout this video. Here's another tip. And you're like, how do I know if this works? Well, you're not going to know if it's going to work for sure because you don't have that thing. But one of the things that you can do is you can put a fresh battery in one of these things, and then let's see if I don't think I put a photo of the front. There's a little RF infrared LED in front of most remotes. And what you do is you put a battery in there, and you turn on your phone on your camera, and you point the remote to your camera lens, and on your camera it'll show like a little flickering that you can't see with your human eye, but the camera picks it up, and you know that at least the radio signal or the RF signal is going to something. If you don't see that, then it's probably there could be something wrong. But I want to say honestly, for the most part, out of like 100 remotes that I've bought over the years, only one was broken. Remotes are pretty sturdy. So here's what you do. Always look for the battery. Make sure it's not corroded. If it's corroded, you can still buy it if it's a good price. Clean it out. Test it out. See if it works with your phone. You just turn on the video, shine it to your phone, push the buttons, and you'll see the little flickering thing. I wish I had one right now. I'd show you live, but we don't. And also look up the product number. Sometimes the product numbers are going to be inside this little flap right here. Sometimes they're on the back. This one happened to be on the back. And also, like, sometimes if you can't find a model number, you're sure as hell well going to be a brand name is always on these things. You want to stay away from the universal ones that are like have no name that you've never heard of. Those are like usually cheaper ones that you can find for like $9.99 brand new at like Target. So like this was a Panasonic. This one stuck right out to me, especially the fact that, you know, it was a universal remote control receiver. You know, it had some damage to it. As you can see, the item condition is used. And what I did is I cleaned it up. Oh, here's another tip. You can take baby wipes. This is what I do. I take baby wipes. I don't use like Windex or anything like that. I mean, I know people use Windex and paper towels, and there's not really anything wrong with it, but I have a bunch of baby wipes. So I'll just take a baby wipe and just clean it off like that. It usually works. Just get in little crevices there. Try not to get any liquid inside of the button part because you can get some corrosion in there. That's why I use baby wipes. They're pretty soft and easily used. So you got a bunch of tips on this thing alone. Leave a comment below if you are into controllers or remotes. Good money. I'm telling you, it's bolo for sure. I can't tell you how many of these things I've sold over the years. Next up, we have this Nintendo Mega Man custom amiibo. Now, this is my art. Now, the thing is, I kind of thought like, oh, should I share this stuff? But I guess it's relevant. I didn't get 299 for this. I got 150. I took a best offer. This was like 1 out of 5 that I made. And what I do is I sell my art on eBay. I'm a, kind of like over the years I've done model making and stuff, and I've kind of transitioned it over to toys in the last 10 years. I did Hot Wheels in like the early 2000s, and I did like, well, some models and stuff before that. So let's get into this real quick. So like I take the figure out, I repaint it, and I use airbrush on these things. I don't want to go too crazy into this, but anyways, I redo the packaging, I repackage it up, I seal it with specialty items that I've specialty like techniques that I've done over the years. Everyone actually wants to know that in the hobby, how I reseal these. It's pretty easy. You just have to take some glue and some stuff, and it's a little bit of time and everything, but sold for 150. What's cool is that someone would actually pay $150 for my work, and that means a lot to me. And so I really and it's funny because I really needed this sale at the moment. I had a couple bills that needed to be paid, so when this went through, I was pretty excited. So yeah, this is all airbrushed. And you could check out my other channel for that kind of stuff. It's Evilos. You can Google that up. So anyways, I just wanted to show that there is multiple ways to make money on eBay if you have some sort of talent. Even if you're like a housewife and you like to make little like knickknacks and stuff. I only say that because when my mom, when I was younger, my mom would do crafts and stuff. And unfortunately, back in the day, there was no Etsy or anything like that. She could have sold them, so she had to sell them like to friends and stuff. But now, if she would have done that kind of stuff, she can definitely sell that stuff on Etsy and things. So, kind of got that from my mom and my dad. My dad definitely, he's insane when it comes to model making. So, anyways, I'm kind of digressing, but I wanted to show that part of what I sell. Next up, we have this original 2008 Vinylmation, and I just clicked the wrong button. There we go. And so this one is the original do-it-yourself, create-your-own figure from 2008. This is actually the very first. For anyone that knows, Vinylmation was like a collectible that ran from 2008 to. It's still doing it now, but it's not really as popular as it was. In like 2010 was like, I want to say 2010 was the height of its popularity, and then it all just pretty much went downhill from there, but that's another story in itself. And this was the original one that was given away. It wasn't given away, it was sold in Walt Disney World in 2008 November, Studio of the Masters. There's not really too many of these in existence, and I've sold these before in the past for like $100. These ones actually come with the window clings, which are like little kind of things that you can stick on a window. That was actually came with during the release of this in 2008. They gave these away, and I happened to, over the years, I've been a huge Vinylmation collector. Not so much anymore, but I have a lot of this weird odds and ends stuff that's pretty rare. And so I took a best offer for this one. I want to say it was like $32. I just wanted to get rid of it, I've kept a lot of these things over the years, and to me, I'd rather have the money in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So Vinylmation, it's another Bolo thing to look out for. Some of the very first series, I think Park 1, some of them still go for a good amount of money, especially if you can find the Park Chaser. And we're actually probably going to do a Know Your Stuff on Vinylmation, because you could still find these at garage sales and stuff. It's kind of funny to see these at garage sales and be like, oh man, I remember all this stuff. So anyways, let's get to the next thing here. And the computer is acting all funny right now. Okay, here we go. Next up is the Supergirl Thomas the Trank thing. Thomas the Trank. Thomas the Trank. Anyways, this is Thomas the Tank. These little things are like $1.76 for blind bags. I talked about this in the last video. You're able to see through them, so I was able to kind of look and find like a lot of the cool ones that I thought were cool. And I collected them and thought like, oh, I'd resell them later. And, some of them I listed for like $9.99. I've had these for like 3 months, 4 months. And so these are starting to sell when I have my sales, my eBay store sales. So this one went for $6.99 with free shipping. I made like a couple dollars on this. Nothing too crazy. Oh man, but yeah, okay. Next up, another DVD. Now for me, I gotta stop buying DVDs because I bought this and I looked it up on eBay when I bought it, and it was like $12.99 brand new. Even though that was the case, this thing sat for like a couple months. Now, I paid 99 cents for this, so you're saying, that's still good. But like I said again, this is a cool DVD. Transformers, like a cartoon, Beast Wars. I thought this would sell super fast. I had tons of lowball offers on this thing. I want to say like tons of them. And it kind of was funny because people were like offering me $6, $5, but no one wanted to pull the $7.99 trigger. Just a couple dollars more and you can have it. It's like, doesn't make any sense. I wasn't going to make any money if they sold it, if they bought it for like $5. It's crazy. So this finally sold. This was another sealed one. I always buy sealed DVDs if they're like 99 cents. Just over time, I'm able to sell them, but I'm definitely very picky about what DVDs I buy now for sure. I used to buy everything that was sealed back in the day, and now I don't do that anymore because I know that these are long tail, especially DVDs. DVDs used to be good sellers a couple years ago, and now they're kind of not. For me personally, I don't know how everyone else sells them. And like I said, it comes back to the FBA thing. If I was able to sell DVDs on FBA, I'd be killing it because they sell way better on Amazon. So next up is this Five Nights at Freddy's card set, 120 cards. Now the funny part about this one is this was a 99-cent store sale. They were selling the packs of 7 cards for 99 cents. And the packs before used to be like $4.99 at Target. Could have been cheaper, maybe $3.99. But anyways, I bought like all of them, and I tried to put the set together. And I swear I spent like $100 on like 100 packs, and I still was only able to make one set. I guess there's some of the cards are short printed in the base set. And what I mean by base set is those that aren't card collectors. There's usually a base set and an insert set in most sets. And base is like your regular set, like card for this one was card 1 to 100. And then you can see these little shiny ones up here. Those are foil cards. They were 1 per pack. And there was 20 to the set. So like the whole complete set was 120 cards. And I guess when I was going through all the cards and sorting them, the numbers that were in the 60s, there wasn't that many of them. So that means that they were probably short printed, which means that cards are printed in a sheet, right? And then the company like cuts them all up. It's all like a industrial process, right? So they print out a huge sheet, they cut them all up, and sometimes they're able to fill like a certain amount of cards on a sheet. So like maybe they'll fill like the whole set of 100. So like maybe you could fit 250 cards on a sheet. So you're going to say, I don't know how they do it, but maybe they did 1 through whatever. And then so there's that 50 left. And what I'm saying is somehow in that process, this is my speculation because I know the industry on this kind of stuff, is that there are probably some of the 60s were probably left out in that sheet. So basically, instead of having 3 of the same card on a sheet, like if it was 300 cards on a sheet, there was like 2.5 cards. Does that make sense? So anyways, this one I thought I'd get like $100 for this set because it was so hard to make. And I sat on this one for a couple months also. Took a best offer for 44 something, and I just wanted to get rid of it. I have another set that I'm trying to put together, and like I said, I might just park that one out because it was just so crazy to put it together. Five Nights at Freddy's is actually a really great niche to get into. Just look that stuff up. It's going to be retail arbitrage because it's like none of that. It's kind of still new, so you're going to find a lot of that stuff in the stores. And they have pop figures and things like that. So that is that. Yeah, this was a pain in the ass to make this set. I should have got more than $44 for this for sure. But like I said, you got bills you got to pay. Money's right there in front of you. You might as well take it and move on to something else. That's the name of the game. Next up, we have this Palm Pilot phone thing. This was actually in a bag of electronics. Some of you might have saw that video. It was like, remember, it was like a $80 bag that was full of video games and electronics and stuff like that. Couldn't test this. There's no charger. So as you can see, the item condition is for parts, not working. Hopefully the person that bought it, this was overseas, hopefully they were able to understand that and not like get it and be like, why doesn't this work? There's no way to test it. Always disclose electronics that you can't test. Um, when I was younger doing eBay stuff, that was something that I learned the hard way. You know, you'd sell like $100 piece of equipment. They'd get it, they say it wouldn't work, and then you wouldn't know for sure if this person's trying to scam you or not. Chances are the damn thing didn't work. So it's like you should test everything that you can. And if you can't test it, at least put it as for parts or as is. Though if if someone's going to want to return it, they're going to return it. Even if your return policy says no returns, eBay is going to force you to return it. That's just a little tip for everyone there. So anyways, this actually sold for $7.99, not $9.99. This was like something that was sold on one of my weekend sales for my store. I try to do sales like every other weekend. I know there's a lot of sellers that do sales like continuously. And for me, I'm still kind of, I just got my store last month, my eBay store last month. And so I'm kind of still playing with the metrics and analytics and things like that to see, you know, what works for me. Next up, we have this Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. Nintendo Wii. I'll be doing a Know Your Stuff video on Wii stuff eventually. We just did one on Nintendo. You can check that out at my video links below. And we went over the original Nintendo. This one is the Wii. As you can see, it says Wii. It has a white label on top. That's how you know that I want to say every Wii game has this, so it's like very distinct from anything else. It's a CD. It's a disc. This was, wow, man, I got a frog in my throat today. This was purchased with that $80 bag. It was like a bundle of electronics. Luckily, the game was in amazing condition. You always have to check the disc to make sure it's not scratched to hell. I test all my games. This one was a Wii, and so I've been doing this for a long time. We're able to like buy all the systems. And so what I do is like every time I would go to a garage sale or thrift shop or whatever, and I'd be able to get a system for a good price, I'd buy it just so I'd have it on hand. It's a good tip if you're in this for the long haul. If you're going to be doing this for the next 20 years, you might as well buy, you know, a Wii system, you know, just to have it on hand. And for me, I have a little LED TV that's like maybe like a 12-inch or 13-inch LED TV that I can just pull out of a box and set it up real quick. I wish I had a system where I don't have a garage. If I had a garage, I'd have a little corner where I'd have all my systems all set up, and all I'd have to do is just walk up and just boom, 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 and test them all. But one day. So anyways, it sold for $9.95. Had this one for about a month. And made a couple dollars on that. Thought this would go for higher, but $9.95 for something that I was literally in pennies for is a pretty good deal. Lastly, we got this Free Realms trading card booster pack. I kind of worked with Sony a little bit on this one. As a fan site, what did I do? I was like the price guide. I was just like the Eye of Judgment thing where Sony let me, gave me a title of like a official fan site. So anyways, I had a bunch of this stuff left over. I want to say that this was purchased from a guy that like worked on the game, and unfortunately, I wish I had these pack. I still sold one of these for $24.99, which is crazy, because A, the game's not even in existence, and B, the little codes that are in there don't even work, because the game's like obsolete. You can't even play the game anymore. So these packs of cards were selling for like $75 to $100 each in its heyday, and I had tons and tons and tons of these packs when the game was out, and I sold them for like regular price, you know, like $4.99 a pack. And then like when somehow like the codes that were in this pack, they unlock like special, like, you know, boots or a shirt or sometimes a special hat that you could only get with the packs that were in games. And then eventually when the game became super popular, I want to say this was probably around 2010 was the height of its popularity. These packs were completely sold out. I think Topps only produced a certain amount of them, and then the freaking prices of even some of the, I seen even some of the code cards go for $200 or $300. So like I was so sad that I had like boxes of these things when the game first came out, and I could have literally made thousands of dollars on these. Well, anyways, I still had a few left. I put it up on eBay, $24.99. This is up actually for a few months, just to see where it go. Someone bought it, and so yeah, always check out different card things. This one's kind of like a very, very niche kind of product here, Free Realms. It was actually a really, really cool game. I was very much in touch with Sony and all the developers with this game. I was deeply in the community, and it was a good game, and it was very sad to see it go because it literally brought together a bunch of people from all over the world. And that's how usually these games are. Usually there's a great community that's built around a game, but not enough to sustain it long term because of, you know, usually bad business decisions on the games, and I think they sunk too much money into it. And yeah. So anyways, I'm Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. I want to thank you for watching. Click the like button below if you like this. If you had any questions about any of this product, please leave a comment below, and see this little subscribe. It's not really, it's actually a huge subscribe button. Click that if you want to watch more videos, and we're going to be doing more Know Your Stuff. The point of this channel for me is I want to show you guys collectibles and hard goods a little deeper than you're normally going to see, because a lot of people that sell on YouTube are into clothes and shoes and things, and that's really not my thing. I try to do that. I can't. I'm not prepared for that yet. I tried doing pants and clothes, and it was just too overwhelming for me. So I'm going to stick to what I know, and the channel is to show you guys things that you probably are going to be passing up at garage sales. And the point of my thing is I want you guys to be inspired to look a little bit above the clothes, you know, or below the clothes, because usually the table will have the clothes on it, and then there'll be those random like boxes of things. And hopefully one day you'll see something and be like, I saw that on Chris's channel. I know what that's about. I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to make some money off of that. That's the point of this channel. So I really appreciate everyone here. And we just hit 300 subscribers. That's so awesome. So thank you very much. I hope everyone has a marvelous weekend. It's rainy here in California, so there's not too much thrift shopping and garage selling going on, but hopefully next week. So Easter's coming. So you guys have a good one.